Hello and welcome to the 12th round of the 2016 PCC Cup Series season here at the Hungaroring located in Mogi Road, Hungary. Starting on the pole is Nicholas Cordovos with Gaspar de Souza on his outside. Good qualifying effort by the 12 crew. James Hewitt and Ben Atkins, Team Ben Atkins locking out row number 2, and Clay Gibson, who ran the PCC Europe race, which was won by Jan Schmidt, qualifies in 5th. Barney Ward there in 8th place. Josh Marshall having a good qualifying effort in 10th. He has yet to finish in the top 10 this season. Your championship points leader, Ike Durbin, starting in P11. Ingrid Hadeland making her first start of the season in P14 for the Matthews Motorsport team. There's Tom Delgado in 15th, Tom Wilson in 16th. As we go further through the field, Duncan Cobb having a good season so far in 20th place. Greg Woodard failed to qualify for the PCC Europe race, but there's Vinny Focasato in 24th, who actually won the first ever consolation race for the Round of Hungary. He'll get 1 PCC Europe point for that. As we go further through the field, there's Alex Phillips, Daniel Sharp, and a lot of these drivers were having problems in qualifying. As we go further back, Kelly Blackwater's season has really fallen off since Road Atlanta. She hasn't had a great effort in any of the races that she's run so far. Barry Juvenile starting way back in the field. Cale Bernhardt Jr., Kuga Hakai. And rounding out the last row are John Jefferson, and second in points, Hank Jr. Wheat Farmer. As Nicholas Cordovos and Gaspar de Souza lead the field to the green flag in one of the most ragged starts I've ever seen. That is ridiculous. Only the top 20 or so were on the front stretch when the green flag was thrown, as Gaspar de Souza takes the lead away from Nicholas Cordovos going into turn number 1, and here you see the rest of the field cycling through, and they're not even too wide at this point. In the back of the field, they're spread out single file. I'm surprised the officials allowed this, but Gaspar de Souza, 4th in points, elected to start on the inside, and he's going to take over the lead here. 26 points back from Ike Durbin, 4th in the championship, and he's looking up to make up quite a bit of that ground here today as he continues to hold the lead over Ben Atkins and James Hewitt back there, the Team Ben Atkins teammates, who have really, in their long runs, have just been insanely fast. But it looks like de Souza currently has the edge, and he's going to get at least 1 bonus point for leading laps here today. As you can see there, Ben Atkins and James Hewitt are both catching him. Lap number 3 here, Ben Atkins trying to make a move on the inside, and de Souza's going to throw a block, and Atkins will drop back and recoup and try to get back up there to challenge. Now, running in 15th place, this is Ingrid Hadeland. She's running right behind Josh Marshall, who started up in the top 10, and this is the first time we've seen her since 2014 when she was running with the Williams Racing team. Did exceptionally well for them, and now she's doing very well here with the Matthews Motorsports team, running up in the top 15. Now she's up to 14th place, so Hadeland really doing a great job here. And de Souza continues to hold the lead up here in... Oh, he runs a bit wide. That's going to be the opportunity that Ben Atkins needs, and there goes the 5 car. Ben Atkins is going to take the lead here. Can Hewitt try and challenge? It looks like he's going to take a look on the inside, but he's going to have to check up, and de Souza continues to hold on to 2nd place, but Ben Atkins now up front in the 5 car, really showing the strength of that car. He won at Road Atlanta earlier this year. Here's Clay Gibson running in P6, and he's been running this car renumbered to the 12 in the PCC Europe Series, where he's had some success, and looks like we're going to be seeing him and Kyle McWillough split this 52 car while Lenny Jacobs is out recovering. As it's set right now, Clay Gibson's going to be running the road courses, and Kyle McWillough is going to be running the ovals, although we might see Gibson run some of the ovals here in Europe. Gaspar de Souza dropped back to 3rd, but he's got a problem. Fuel system issues. He gets shoved by Cordovos there, and he's going to bounce off of Clay Gibson, and he's going to stall the car on track, get towed back to the pits, and the crew's going to diagnose what just happened with that car. He reported that the car sputtered and then died going in a straight line, so that's concerning. Here's the championship leader, Ike Durbin, running in 9th place, doing what he needs to do to stay up top the championship battle. Is staying in front of all of his championship competitors, and with Gaspar de Souza's issues, he's currently doing that. So Ike Durbin currently catching Clay Gibson, who took a pretty big shot to the right front with that, and his lap times have been dropping off significantly, that 52 car. Here's the 2nd place driver in points. He's 19 points back. This is Hank Jr. Wheat Farmer, but he's running in dead last. He's running in 41st place. The only car he's ahead of is Gaspar de Souza, who's in the pits right now, and really just an awful day for the 70 team. Here's James Hewitt now, trying to make his way up towards the front. He's had an off and on season. He's catching Ben Atkins here, but he's currently 11th in points. He's had his highs. He has a win this season, but he has had quite a few DNFs, but he's definitely looking to catch Ben Atkins here. Here's third place in points. This is Brian Gallagher. He's running back in 17th place on lap number 7, and he's put together a pretty good effort this season despite missing Mansfield, and he's looking to continue that here with this 17th place run. He's trying to work his way up towards the top 10. Clay Gibson, who took quite a bit of damage after bouncing off his teammates, going to pit from 9th place on lap number 6. And here's Gaspar de Souza coming out of the pits. They were able to diagnose that fuel system issue, and they're going to send him back out on track. They tanked him up and going to send him back out there. He's currently 2 laps down in last place, though. Here's James Hewitt now. He definitely caught Ben Atkins. That was... he's got the faster car, but Ben Atkins is going to throw the block there, and Hewitt's going to have to drop back just a little bit and recoup and try and take the lead back from his teammate. He almost had it there. Next lap, I think he'll be able to do it, though. He's got the run set up here as Ben Atkins pushes wide, gets in the marbles, and Hewitt, well, looks like Atkins is going to make it easy for him, or maybe not. Atkins still side by side with Hewitt coming here through 3 and 4, and Atkins pushes wide just a bit, and Hewitt's going to have to slot back in line. Maybe he can pull the crossover here. There, he's going to make a move to the inside, trying to pull the crossover, and he's going to go side by side, and he's going to be able to stay side by side there, and he's going to take it. James Hewitt side by side with his teammate for half a lap, but finally he gets the top spot. And we've got troubles with Frank Azaretto here, slow from 24th place, about a fifth of the way through this race. That's another fuel system issue that he's reporting. That's a bit odd. De Souza and now Azaretto with fuel system issues. He's going to get towed back to the pits. And his teammate, same lap, is going to go up in smoke. Kelly Blackwater, whose championship efforts have kind of hit a roadblock. Granted, she's still in the top 10 in points, but 2 last place finishes in a row aren't going to help matters at all, especially when you're not really a top tier driver in this series, as she's been decidedly average every year she's competed. James Hewitt continues to hold the lead now over Ben Atkins. You can see he's pulled out quite a bit of a gap over the 5 car, and here's Louis Ballard, who's they just went around Kelly Blackwater. This is a pretty good battle we've got going on for 3rd place, as De Souza's dropped off. There's Barney Ward, got Nicholas Corredovos, and that's Alina Lazareva back there in 7th place right now, as this battle's tightened up quite a bit in the past couple laps, as Corredovos has kind of been holding these guys up. As now, on lap 12 of 50, we've got our first lapped car. It's Hank Jr. Wheat Farmer, and looks like Hewitt's just going to go right around on the outside, as that car is way off the pace. That is one of the slowest cars I've seen here all week, as Alex Phillips has a tire go down on a 71 car. He was running in the low 20s, so not really a huge loss, but it's tough to see Alex Phillips do poorly here. He has a win on the season, and he leads the series in poles, but really not having a good week here, as Nicholas Corredovos running in 3rd place, coming up to lap. Oh, looks like he's got a problem. He's going to get hit from behind and taken into the wall by Louis Ballard, and he's going to get bogged down in the sand trap, trying to get going there. Ballard drives away, but Corredovos stuck up against the wall, and he's going to have to get towed out of there, and he's going to lose a lot of time in the process. After that incident with Corredovos, Louis Ballard's going to take the opportunity to throw the dice on his pit strategy and repair some of the damage that he got from that. Here's Scott Wullen running up in the top 15. He's in 12th place, and this isn't normally where we see this 16 car. He actually hasn't finished inside the top 30 since Carbondale, which was a very long time ago. The team isn't too thrilled with his performances, and I've heard rumors that he might get sacked at the end of the European Tour if he doesn't pick it up. So little fire lit underneath Scott Wallen here today as, oh no, Gaspar de Souza is slowing down on track again, and he's going to stop there. Already 2 laps down. This time it's a flat tire, but he'll get towed back to the pits, and they're going to send him back out again, actually, after this, as Tom Delgado pits from 7th place. Lap number 19, throwing the dice just a little bit on his strategy. This is probably about 5 laps too early if he's going to try and make it, as Ben Atkins now running in 2nd place. Starting to lose time to his other teammate, Barney Ward, as he runs through the gravel trap there just a little bit. That's going to let Barney Ward catch up. The 3rd car for this team, Barney Ward in the 15. Ben Atkins has had kind of an off and on season. He started near the bottom of the points, but here comes Barney Ward, who's pretty far down in points. I think he's like 25th in points or something, so way off his other 2 teammates. But as it stands, Team Ben Atkins has locked out the top 3 in this race, and Barney Ward is eventually going to take that 2nd place away from Ben Atkins, who seems to be content to let his teammates do all the leading, and he'll just putz around in 3rd place. Here's Alina Lazareva having a strong run. She's in 4th, and she's really not had a great season. She's 35th in points, so a run like this would do wonders to shoot her back up through the championship ranks. And same thing with 5th place driver Ramsey Cockiner right here, who's 36th in points, and really looking for a strong run. This would actually be his first top 5 of the season if he can stay here, and his team desperately needs it as they're close to relegation. Louis Ballard now. Oh dear, it looks like that strategy is not going to work out too well for him, as he's starting to slow down just a little bit. Looks like he's got a flat tire on that car. Yeah, there it goes. He was reporting that it was getting a bit soft, the right front tire, and there it went. Wow. Guess that strategy is not going to work out for him. He was running in 18th place when that happened, but he's going to drop quite a bit down in the order. Here is Vinny Focasato, who's doing quite a good job. He actually just went a lap down, but still, he's running up in 24th place, doing a pretty good job. He actually won a race for the cars that DNQ'd the European race, so he qualified 24th, but managed to DNQ the European race, so that just shows the level of competition over there. But he's having a good run here today as Josh Marshall kicks off green flag pit stops with the leaders on lap number 24, just before halfway, as James Hewitt brings his car into the pits, runs a little wide on entrance there, and he's going to bring the rest of the leaders in 1 lap after Marshall, as here we've got Barney Ward and Ben Atkins coming in, and just the rest of the leaders are starting to come in now, as we've got the whole top 5 in, as Hewitt is going to win the battle off of pit road. Granted, he had a pretty big lead coming in, but he's going to gain quite a bit of ground, or expand his lead over everyone else, as Ben Atkins, Alina Lazareva is actually going to win that battle, so she's going to come out of the pits in 2nd place. So Lazareva, her pit crew's been on fire, as Ben Worthington's got a tire going down on that 6 car. Hit the curbs a bit too hard, one too many times. And oh, there's Barney Ward, and that's going to do Ward in. That's going to damage the radiator on the 15 and take him out of the race from a top 5 position as we go on board with Ward. Just, what was he doing? He had so much room on the right. Why didn't he go right? Come on, Barney. Your spotter's there for a reason. You gotta listen to him, man. As Scott Wallen, this is a battle for 10th place. We've got a gaggle of cars here. That's Lambert in the 34, Corridovos, who is 2 laps down, battling with Ryan Matthews. There's Gallagher, Anderson's back there. Looks like Gibson might be back there too, and that's just a bunch of cars battling for a top 10 position, as here's Ike Durbin, who is up to 5th place after all the chaos that's been going on. He's really just running his own race. No one's really near him. Ian Elias, haven't talked about him all day. He's up in 8th place, doing a pretty good job. He's really been upper midfield this entire season. He's currently 13th in points, tied with Duncan Cobb. and he's done quite a good job here today. He's up in the lower top 10, just running his own race. No one's really around him at this point, as Ben Atkins, trying to make a move around Alina Lazareva, going to use the lapped car of Mark Burt to go 3 wide on the front stretch. They're side by side at the line. Looks like Lazareva's got a bit of an aerodynamic advantage coming down the front straightaway, but I think Atkins might have the preferred line, and he's going to do it. He's going to take second place away from Lazareva coming into turn number 1, and he's going to complete the pass there. Ben Atkins, P2. Now here's Hank Jr. Wheat Farmer. He's up to 36th place, so he's trying to minimize whatever he's going to lose here today. I mentioned in the pre-race that Greg Woodard had failed to qualify for the European race. He actually qualified 39th, but he qualified 22nd for this race. That just shows the level of competition over in that European series, as he's about to go a lap down to James Hewitt. He's currently running up in 16th place, so a strong effort for Woodard. Doing a good job here today, as we've got this battle of lead lapped cars going for 10th place, as Scott Wallens, we've got Anderson there, that's Gallagher, Lambert's back in this group. We've got just a huge gaggle of cars. There's a couple others in here, like Juveno is going to be battling with, I believe that's Ballard back there. That's a battle for position. Marshall's in this group, and so is Gibson. And they're really going at it. Positions are swapping every lap, and this is easily the best battle that's going on track right now. As Jerry Myatt's going to get in the way, and he's going to get hooked into the wall by Brian Gallagher there, telling him to get out of the way as he goes a lap down to this group of cars, and he wisely stays out of the way of everyone else. Looks like Lambert's losing a bit of ground on this group, as here we've got a battle for last place on track between Gaspar de Souza and Frank Azaretto, as de Souza passes, and he's going to take the position as de Souza continues to be fast, as Hewitt is now slicing through that group that was battling for 10th place. We've got Preston Bell in there. He's already going a second lap down, but most of these drivers are going their first lap down, as Hewitt is way in front of everyone else. Can't even see second place at this point, so Hewitt running away with it, as Preston Bell lets everyone go by, but Hewitt's starting to work his way through this pack, as there's Anderson in front of him, there's Craig, Gallagher's up there, and Tom Delgado trying to make this pit strategy work. He's up in 7th place with 13 laps to go. So far it's working out, but he's trying to dial it back just a little bit, trying to enter fuel strategy mode as Lambert. I guess that was a problem where he was dropping back, because he just pit from 15th place as Tom Wilson. Oh no. Wilson was running up in the top 10, son of Trans Am driver Don Wilson. Really has a road course pedigree, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to get a good finish here today, as he's going to stop on track with a blown tire, and he'll get towed back to the pits. Ingrid Hadeland, last we saw of her, she was up in 15th place. Now she's up in 6th. So Hadeland looking for an extremely good result for this Matthews Motorsports team. They really need it if they're going to stay out of relegation. And I believe this will be the best ever finish for the Matthews Motorsports team, if I'm not mistaken, as Dan Ferre, who DNQ'd the European race, goes up in smoke. He was running way down in the order. He was in 34th place. He blows up with 10 laps to go, as Brian Gallagher is up in 9th place, doing a good job trying to minimize the damage from falling behind Ike Durbin. So he's trying to make sure that he can stay as close to Ike Durbin as possible at the end of this one, as he might actually get around Hank Jr. Wheat Farmer for second in points if this keeps up, as looks like Tom Delgado's pit strategy is not going to work. He's going to bring his car into the pits with just 5 laps to go from 7th place. But I believe he's so far ahead of the other drivers that he might not lose as much as we think he will. And here he comes out of the pits. He's about to go a lap down to James Hewitt, and he only lost 1 position. So Tom Delgado, his pit strategy didn't work, but he didn't really have to pay that much for it, as he only loses 1 position and just 1 lap, really. As here we go, final lap. We've got Lewis Jones. He's going to bounce off of Jerry Myatt, hit the wall, and get stuck in the gravel trap. So a potential top 15 run goes down the drain for Lewis Jones, as he's going to get stuck there, and he's not going to be able to complete the last lap of the race. So looks like he's not going to get that car fired, as coming through the final few turns, James Hewitt runs away with this one. And coming through the final turn, James Hewitt is going to win his second race of the season here at the Hungaroring. Ben Atkins finishes in second place, a ways back from his teammate Alina Lazareva in third place. I believe that's her first podium of the year. Ramsey Cockiner finishes in the top 5 for the first time all season, and Ike Durbin, fifth place, doing all he needs to do to stay up front in the championship battle. Ingrid Hadeland, P6, doing a fantastic job in that 20 car. We'll see her in the Czech Republic in a week in that car as well. Ian Elias finishes in 7th place, good run for him. Very quiet run. Tom Delgado in 8th place. Elias was the one driver that he lost out to in his failed pit gamble. Brian Gallagher, P9. Sapphire Anderson won the battle for 10th place over Clay Gibson. Josh Marshall, P12, still hasn't scored a top 10 all season, but is gotten so many top 15s it's not even funny. Scott Wellen, P13, his best run since Carbondale. Greg Woodard, P14, good effort for him. Barbara Burt, P15, doing well to keep herself in the championship battle. Duncan Cobb, P16, Akio Gifu. Mark Burt, Vincenzo Focusato wins the consolation race, and that, I guess, is good enough effort to get him a top 20 here in the 00 car. And Lewis Jones didn't finish his last lap, but still finished in 20th position. And now looking at the point standings, Ike Durbin holds a 26-point lead over Brian Gallagher in second place. 70 car of HJ Wheat Farmer fell back to third. Gaspar de Souza holds on to fourth place, but he's tied with James Hewitt there, who after his win has catapulted his way up into the top 5 in points. Barbara Burt, 6th place, Tom Delgado in P7, and Mark Burt in P8, all doing fantastic jobs in their season. Sapphire Anderson as well in P9. Ben Atkins up in the top 10 for the first time all season. Ian Elias in P11. Duncan Cobb hangs on to P12. John Jefferson fell 5 spots down to P13, but that's not nearly as bad as Kelly Blackwater, who dropped 8 spots down to P14 after 2 last place finishes in a row. Akio Gifu, P15, up in the top 20 actually up in the top 15 for the first time all season. Nicholas Cordova's P16. Andy Lambert, 17th. Louis Ballard in P18. Tom Wilson, who had his issues today, in P19. And Daniel Sharp rounds out the top 20 for the Nice Cock Racing team. And now looking at the team standings, not much has changed in the top 5, but Double B Motorsports has gotten quite a bit closer to Paloma Autosport for that second place in points. As we go further down, though, Australian Motorsports leaped over Clayson Enterprises. Nice Cock jumped up to 8th place, with Johnson and ROG falling down to 9th and 10th. And Zactec Motorsports team has managed to clear themselves of the relegation zone, putting Accelerator Motorsports, Steffens Racing, and Lucas Motorsports in the relegation zone as we head to the round of the Czech Republic.